Hello, everyone. So we are live on YouTube and eScribe, and I've made Brandon and Spencer co-host in case you needed to let anyone in.
Thank you. Well, it's 6 o'clock, and Soraya, you mentioned that we may not have a quorum, but it looks like we do. Looks like we have 5 board members current. So, in that light, should we call to order? All right, my name is Brandon Prinzing, and I'd like to call to order the Design Review Board for Wednesday, April 14th, 2021. And I have a script here I need to read. Thanks for joining our meeting today, being held via Zoom webinar. When I call for public comment, please use the raise/lower hand feature to let me know you wish to be recognized. Our host will allow you to talk, and you'll need to unmute your mic. If you have joined us by phone, you can raise and lower your hand by pressing *9 and mute and unmute using *6. If you are participating by phone, I'll call on you by reading the last 4 digits of your phone number. If you are participating by computer, I'll call the name that was last used when you entered our webinar. So Soraya, roll call.
Sure. And we need 7 people to have a quorum.
We need full 7.
Yeah, we need majority.
We have Ryan, Heather, 1, 2.
Maria Chestnut. She said she'll be late. Heather McMillan. Heather McMillan.
Yes, here.
Ryan Top.
Here.
Ryan Smith is here. Levi Tain. We have 1 person in the attendee list.
That's Ryan Galt. He is I will add him in here. He is the representative here for the applicant for tonight's item.
Hey guys, this is Andrew Galt with Home-Based Partners.
Levi Tain is absent. Don Briggs.
Here.
Brandon is here.
Here.
Lobot is absent. The roll call is done.
So Soraya, we don't have a majority here? I thought we do.
It looks like we do.
We just need 5 for a quorum, right?
Yeah. Heather, Donald, Brian, Ryan.
So
I see
my
5.
understanding, because this was kind of a challenge for me, was that someone is coming late. And so I was going to be here until she gets here.
Maria Chestnut should be here about 30 minutes late.
Okay.
And Karen.
Karen, that's who I was, thinking of.
Okay.
Sorry, and we do have a quorum.
Sounds good. Thank you. Clarified. All right. Third agenda item, approval of minutes. Do any board members have any comments on the minutes from last time?
Yeah, I do. This is Brian.
Brian?
I just noticed at the end it says the signage shall not exceed 40 square feet width limit. I'm pretty sure that should just say 40 feet width limit versus 40 square feet. So there just might be some confusion there.
Thank you, Brian. That is a fantastic catch. That is very, very good. Thank you for that. So Sarai, will you make a note on those minutes, please? To change from 40 square feet to 40 linear feet in width?
Sure. So we can vote to approve as amended, and the minutes will be amended and attached to the upcoming meeting.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes with that one amendment? Anyone?
So moved.
Heather first, any second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Heather. Appreciate that. Thanks for catching that, Brian. Okay. Fourth agenda item, public comment. Do we have any public comment from any attendees out there before we move on to different agenda items? I'll wait for a few seconds for folks to raise their hand or be heard. Okay, seeing no public comment, we'll move on to staff announcements. Agenda number 5, staff announcements. Do we have any staff announcements? Doesn't look like we have any.
Between the time of the agenda and now, I've been made aware of a potentially, one definite sign package that if will likely come in June, and depending on the alterations to a sign permit, there may be another one in June as well. So there may be 2 sign packages, just so that
2 sign packages in June.
Design Review Board is aware.
Thank you, Spencer. Appreciate that announcement. Yeah, we'll look forward to that June meeting. Thank you. All right, number 6, public hearings. The AC Marriott address 175 North Paddy Street, a comprehensive sign package review. Staff report.
Good evening. My name is Spencer Stark. I'm an associate planner with Development Services of the City of Missoula. Before you this evening is a comprehensive sign package for the AC Marriott Hotel located at 175 North Paddy Street. The applicants are Missoula Investors LLC, and they are represented by Andrew Galt, who is in attendance this evening. Just a brief overview of comprehensive sign packages. Title 20 of the sign code allows for the DRB to review sign packages when the contents of that package are not in strict conformance with the Title 20 sign code. As part of that, all of the signs for the individual project are reviewed as part of a sign package. AC Marriott Hotel is located at 175 Paddy Street, which is south of and adjacent to East Main Street. Located in the downtown area. It is zoned in the Central Business District, or CBD zone district, and is part of the Design Excellence Downtown Inner Core Overlay. As part of that, the development was reviewed and approved as part of a design review in 2019 and was subsequently modified in 2020. The project is located in the Urban Center Land Use Designation as part of the Our Missoula Growth Policy. This land use designation is for traditional urban center downtown uses. For example, things like commercial office, retail, arts and entertainment, eating and drinking establishments, etc. Just the typical land use pattern you'd see in a downtown setting. The comprehensive sign package is pertains to three sections of the Title 20 sign code. The first governs wall signs in the Central Business District, particularly states that one wall sign is allowed per building frontage with a maximum area of 50 square feet plus 1 square foot for each additional building frontage in excess of 50 lineal feet. The second section is section 2075-070B, which governs canopy signs, stating that the canopy sign does not contribute to the maximum wall sign allowance, but cannot exceed 10 square feet. And finally, section 2075-070C, which governs window signs, in particular, states that window signs cannot cover more than 30% of the window area. The AC Marriott Hotel has two building frontages. The first faces East Main Street and is 88 feet long, and the second faces Paddy Street and is 135 feet long. The applicant has proposed a single wall sign for the East Main Street frontage. This wall sign is 36 square foot and is internally illuminated and is a gray and white cabinet sign. This sign was previously reviewed and approved as part of a sign permit application. It is compliant with the Title 20 sign codes, well within that 88 square foot allowance based upon the building frontage length. The applicant is proposing 3 wall signs on the Paddy Street frontage. The first wall sign is a 66 square foot backlit white aluminum channel letter wall sign. This wall sign was also previously reviewed and approved as it complies with the lineal frontage measurement to area requirement. The second sign is a 4-foot internally illuminated gray and white cabinet sign. This sign was reviewed as a minor sign originally, but that was not the case. Minor signs are a sign that can be approved without a sign permit, but their area has to be 6 square feet or less, but the contents of the sign only allow for 50% of the area to be a commercial message. This, while smaller than 6 square feet, the commercial message is above 50%. So that's the sign package will help to correct that error. And then finally, for the Paddy Street frontage, the applicant is proposing a wall sign along the rooftop, which is going to serve the rooftop bar. The applicant has proposed to amend the copy that was originally submitted as part of the sign package. The copy will be changed from above the AC to 7R bar. The materials, square footage, and lighting will remain the same. So the findings of fact from the staff packet will still be true, and staff's recommendation stays the same, subject, which is approval for the amended sign package, subject to the two conditions that were in the staff's application. To approve the sign packet, if that's what the DRB decides to do, the motion will simply amend the sign package application as demonstrated in this presentation. So there's no real change to the recommendation or outcomes aside from the copy change. The applicant is proposing a 25 square foot backlit white aluminum channel letter canopy sign fronting Paddy Street. This is 15 square feet larger than the allowed canopy sign area in Title 20. It should be stated that the combined area of the wall signs on Paddy Street is 79 square feet, which is well below the 135 square feet allowed via Title 20. The applicant is proposing two window signs, which are approximately 2 square feet and 1.5 square feet. Both signs are less than the 30% of the window area and have been previously reviewed and approved via a sign permit application. As stated previously, staff is maintaining their recommendation of approval for the AC Marriott Hotel sign package as amended, subject to two conditions, those being that all signage requires approval of a sign permit by Development Services. This approval will be based upon the sign package approved by Design Review Board, and that the signage shall not be modified or additional signs added beyond what was approved by the Design Review Board without resubmittal of an application and approval from the Design Review Board. And the second condition of approval is that any applicable electrical, building, and sign permit shall be obtained prior to the installation of the signs. This concludes staff's presentation. Staff is available for questions at this time. As stated previously, Andrew Galt is in attendance. He's the developer representative for Missoula Investors LLC and is available for question and comment.
Thank you, Spencer. Appreciate that presentation. Very well done. If it's okay with the other board members, I'd love to hear Andrew's comments or anything that he'd like to add on what Spencer just had to say before we have comments from the board itself. Andrew, would you want to talk to any of those points or add anything?
Yeah, sure. Well, first off, I just want to thank you guys for taking the time to look into this and understand the importance of maintaining the the quality and feel of downtown. I guess the main thing really is that we have certain brand requirements from Marriott to meet, and the AC in particular tries to be understated in their kind of class and quality. But there's certain logos and sign types that they require as a franchisee. And so the wall signs, as Spencer mentioned, are well below.
Shoot.
Somehow I went on mute all of a sudden.
There you go. There, you're back.
Back now? Okay.
You're back now.
Okay. I'm not sure where you lost me, but I guess my main point was really that we're trying to stay understated. I mean, it's a big frontage on both Main and Paddy, and understand that per the sign codes, we're allowed to have way more signage than we do. But just trying to reflect a level of quality, but also understatement in the signage package that we have as far as those wall signs go. The canopy letters are very important, and right down the street, the Residence Inn went through a very similar process where the canopy letters were larger than allowed by code, but were approved through a similar process. And I guess we're just asking for a similar treatment to the precedent set down the street. Each hotel needs its own identity, and I don't think what's being proposed is overly garish or drawing too much attention, but kind of relates to the scale of the building. And then as far as the rooftop bar, frankly, I think it'll be hard to even see that sign from most places in town. Potentially the new library, if you're standing on, the upper floors of that space, you'll see it. But really, it's just to bring some identity to that rooftop space. And as Spencer mentioned, it's slightly different than the original sign that we proposed, but same exact sign type, same exact lighting, same size, just a slightly different logo that through branding efforts has evolved. And just for reference, that 7R actually relates to the button in the elevator that you push to get to that rooftop bar. It's the 7R button. So kind of bringing a little Montana, ranching flair to it, but also very practical for people that walk in and try to figure out where they're going to get up there. But open to any questions you guys might have, and just again appreciate the time and energy you guys are taking to review this.
Thank you, Andrew. Really appreciate that. Very well said. Question for staff, just to reiterate. So what we're asked to look at here is the number of wall signs on Paddy. There's only one wall sign permitted. Is that what we're talking about here? One wall sign on Paddy, and they're well under the allowed square footage, 135 versus what they have now. I think I heard 79 for wall signs.
Yes, they are well under. So there's two items that are not compliant. That would be the first being the number of wall signs on Paddy, and the second being the size of the canopy sign, the square footage of the canopy sign. So those are the two items that's the reason why this package
right here. That's right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying. Interested to hear what board members have to say. Is there any general discussion here about what Andrew and Spencer presented here?
This is Brian. The only question I have is in regards to tenants. Is this just proposed to be a single tenant? There's no other spaces within this building that are having other tenants besides the rooftop bar, which is part of the hotel as I see it, or as I understand it?
Yep, Brian, you're correct. It's all the same. The rooftop bar is owned and operated by the hotel. So no separate tenants. And, I would say the small cabinet sign at the ground level is more for street level identity. As you're walking by, it's hard to, there's a canopy above there, so you can't really see the sign up above. So it's more just giving some street level identity to the front door and really directing people to where the entrance to the building is.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I was going to point out, I felt like that was a great wayfinding. I know there's only a single tenant in this building, but just around the corner, there's a series of commercial spaces on, and they have clear signage. And so I think coming down Paddy with that canopy sign is really nice. That's good for wayfinding. And then also that street level is nice for the pedestrian level. I think it just continues kind of that redevelopment of those, the block down there, and it'll complement and be very understated, similar to what the Wren is doing and some of the other projects that we've seen come through. So I really like it. And I think the 7R, you're going to see it from some places, maybe the M, but I do like the reference and the not so many signs on the walls, but I think it's a nice use of the facade. So overall, I support the proposed package.
Thank you, Heather. Let's see, Ryan, Donald, any thoughts?
Oh, go ahead.
I'll go ahead. Overall, I don't see any major issues with the sign package as is. I think it's tastefully done. And I think that the branding change on the rooftop bar was actually a really good change. But I'm kind of curious why have it if it's not visible from anywhere on the street.
I would say it's more for the folks that are up there, just kind of an identity, something so people remember the name and can share that with their friends. And yeah.
So it's visible from someone who's on the deck.
Oh yeah, for sure. So
gotcha. It's set back. It's not on an outer guardrail or something.
Correct. Yeah. From the edge of the building, I would say the sign is actually probably 30 feet to the west.
Gotcha. So the purpose it's serving is really for the people that are already at the bar.
Yep.
Gotcha.
For sure.
Okay. That's all I've got.
Thanks, Ryan. Donald?
Nothing at this time. Seems pretty tastefully done. So thank you.
Great. Yeah, I would echo everything everyone else has to say. Andrew, I think it's really tastefully done. I appreciate the square footage being a lot less than what's allowed in Title 20. I personally would rather see smaller signs dispersed than one larger sign centered. And I think it serves the building better, and it serves the public better and the fabric of downtown. I think the type or the font choices and how it's backlit, and I think it'll fit the architecture. I don't see really anything about this package, so I appreciate your thoughtfulness, and I understand it's hard to sort of meet brand requirements through hotels, and I think this is another one that's pretty tastefully done. So appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. Definitely a lot of thought and effort went into it, so I appreciate the comments.
So, well, without further ado, would someone like to make a motion on this package?
I will make a motion to approve the application per staff's requirements.
Thank you, Ryan. Do we have a second? Who would like to second that?
I would
motion?
second it.
Brian.
Yep.
Second that motion. All right. We will do a roll call vote to vote on this motion. Soraya?
Sorry, I'm waiting for the page to load.
Sure, no problem. It's probably important to state, based on the, as Spencer said earlier, the presentation with the amendment, that's likely very important. So maybe Soraya, can we repeat that motion?
I'll go ahead and read the staff's recommended motion again. That
Thank you,
way
Spencer.
it's in the record.
Thank you.
Staff is recommending a motion, and as such, the design review board has made a motion to a motion that the Missoula Design Review Board approve the comprehensive sign package for the AC Marriott Hotel as amended by the Design Review Board in this presentation, based upon the findings of fact and testimony heard at the public hearing, subject to the following two conditions of approval. One, all signage requires approval of a sign permit by Development Services. Development Services will base the permit approval on the sign package approved by the Design Review Board. Signage shall not be modified or additional signage added beyond what was approved by the Design Review Board without resubmittal of an application and approval from the Design Review Board. And the second condition of approval is that any applicable electrical building sign permits shall be obtained prior to the installation of the sign.
Thank you. Roll call vote.
Brian Top,
Aye.
Ryan Smith,
Yes.
Don Briggs,
Yes.
Brandon,
Yes.
this is it, right? We don't have anyone else.
Heather?
Heather McMillan, yes.
Heather, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
And Maria just joined.
Sorry. Yes, I did review the materials earlier. Thank you.
Well,
For the sake of clarity, and since we
Yeah.
have a quorum, I would say that without being present for the amended package and public comment, just to keep things clear, it may be best to just use the 5 individuals present for the approval, unless
agree,
anybody
Spencer.
has any issues with that.
yeah, I agree with that. Okay. Well, it looks like the motion passes with 5 yay and no. And we'll move on to the next one. Thank you. I really appreciate it, Andrew. Well done package, and I appreciate you coming tonight.
Yes, thanks everyone for their time. And again, appreciate your looking into this and making sure it met your approval.
I can't wait to press the 7R and go up top.
I know,
Say
me
that.
too. Me too.
Ditto.
Can't wait.
You know, the bar is still a couple weeks, months away, but the hotel,
right.
the hotel is great, and the ground floor bar is a pretty nice space as well. So if you haven't, please go check it out.
Will do. Thanks,
Will do.
Andrew.
Right. Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew.
Bye.
All right. Moving on to agenda items 7 and 8, old and new business. It does not look like we have any old or new business. Is that correct, staff? Seeing none. Agenda number 9, comments from board members. Does anyone have any final comments about tonight's package moving forward? What we did right, what we did wrong?
The only thing I'd say is I think, Brenna, I appreciate you being, and Spencer being very clear about process and the amendment that was added that wasn't part of the package, all the things, but I'm glad we were efficient tonight. So thank you for all that, all the prep.
Efficiency, I like it. I'm with you, Heather. It's nice to see sign packages that are complete and thoughtful. And so I think that was definitely one tonight. So yeah, and just keeping it, I think that efficiency comment is not to be understated. When there's times where we need to really dig in and understand a topic, we should and absolutely should. That's what we've been called upon to do. But in other times when we clearly see something that is has well intentions and staff has a clear recommendation to approve, as such, we shouldn't. It's my opinion that we shouldn't labor over it. And so that would be an approach that I think we should take. So thanks everyone for tonight's time. And if nobody has anything else, I will adjourn this meeting, the Design Review Board meeting for April 14th, 2021. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Brandon.
Thanks, Brandon.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night, everyone.
See ya.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Have a good night.